Anything you need to know about Korea is right here at the K-Hub channel. Please subscribe to watch more videos on your Korean favorites and hit the bell button to get notified on our new video.
Lee Min-ho is regarded as the actor who pioneered the Hallyu wave beyond Korean shores with his iconic role in Boys Over Flowers. Furthermore, he is one of the most prominent endorsers and highest-paid actors in the industry. What is your favorite show of his? Also, despite his age, Hallyu superstar Lee Min-ho has a charming face that has the looks of a prince who is willing to face any storm for the love of his life. Known for his role in Boys Over Flowers in 2009, an adaptation of the Japanese shoujo manga Hana Yori Dengo, Min-ho was born on June 22, 1987. Several modeling and acting stints followed Lee Min-ho's high ratings in South Korea, which made his career flourish to this day. As Lee Min-ho celebrates 15 years in showbiz in 2021, he will mark an important milestone in his career. Then, a fatal injury at the age of 10 ended Lee Min-ho's dreams of becoming a soccer player during his childhood. As a sophomore in high school, Lee Min-ho became interested in acting. The first break came through EBS Secret Campus after he auditioned relentlessly. Despite the life-altering accident that threatened to end his acting career, he hustled for the next 2 years. In spite of this, life changed after Boys Over Flowers. A year later, Lee Min-ho appeared in Boys Over Flowers, his second major lead role. It portrayed Lee Min-ho as the haughty and arrogant Shinha Empire heir and leader of the F4 group, Gu Junpyo. Gu Junpyo meets Goom Jandy, played by Gu Hae-soon, a poor, feisty girl who catches his attention in a Cinderella-like story. A roadblock, however, stands between them and their romance, as Gu Junpyo's uncaring mother and Ji-hoon's interest in Goom Jandy stand between them. During its initial run, the series became a huge hit for KBS and is still continuing to benefit the show's cast today. Before Psy's Gangnam Style and BTS hit the screen and propelled Lee Min-ho to superstardom, Boys Over Flowers is the official adaptation of the Japanese manga series Hanadori Yango. And taking part in the auditions was a challenge. Lee Min-ho admitted in an interview that he permed his hair to audition for Gu Junpyo and learned about his selection only through the newspapers. During its broadcast in South Korea, the series received high ratings and buzz. Additionally, the show was broadcast around the world in unique locations. To watch the episodes, eager fans bought DVDs of the show in India's northeast and illegally downloaded them. Then, it was after this show that Kim Bum, Kim Yoon-jung, and Gu Hae-soon became household names. There was nothing about the show that didn't make it popular. The aesthetics of Boys Over Flowers were aped by most teenage rom-coms that aired after it. Since F4 became so popular, virtually every youth show has an F4 version, including the latest and Extraordinary You. But why is the show still relevant and what made it successful? While Boys Over Flowers wasn't even the first adaptation of Hanadori Yango, it changed Lee Min-ho's fate forever and remains a classic to this day. Here are a few reasons why. Number 1. Likeability. Although the drama is more than a decade old, it has a certain likability that few dramas can boast of. The Heirs wasn't as likable as Boys Over Flowers, primarily because Lee Min-ho's film lacked likability. Number 2. Among the best adaptations. As an adaptation of the source material, Boys Over Flowers was one of the best. It is an extremely controversial point, but it is undeniable that Boys Over Flowers made the most of the material. Number 3. Treatment. In a nutshell, it is a simple concept that can go either way. Either you do an excellent job with it or you come up with a poor product, and we are glad to say that Boys Over Flowers falls in the former category. All aspects of the movie were executed well, from the locations to the clothes, to the grandeur, the romance, to the innocence, to the OST to the casting. Everything fits together like a puzzle. You can watch the treatment over and over again because it was pleasant and refreshing. Number 4. Served its purpose for many years. Despite its age, Boys Over Flowers continues to stand the test of time. Although the story is outdated, the series still holds relevance with regards to liking and innocence. And it can be enjoyed just for nostalgia by fans of any age group. As fans, we were very happy to see Lee Min-ho headline the show, and of course we were also grateful that he was our heartthrob. In the meantime, Min-ho's talent was finally recognized when he won the Best New Actor award at the 45th Bangsang Arts Awards. As a result, he was the first Korean actor to get a wax figure at Madame Tussauds Museum, and he was named one of the highest-paid actors in K-drama in 2021. Meanwhile, let's reminisce about his projects and let me know in the comments which of them is your favorite. 1. The King, Eternal Monarch, 2020. It is a picture you can only see in every girl's fairy tale fantasy to see a handsome man riding a white horse. This dream has been brought to life with Minho by the producers of The King, Eternal Monarch. With a release date of 2020, the series follows the fascinating time journey of Emperor Legon played by Lee Min-ho, the King of Korea. His journey leads him to meet and fall in love with Detective Young Tae-yul played by Kim Go-yoon, who he recognizes from an identification card he obtained when he was a child and his father was assassinated. 2. Legend of the Blue Sea, 2016. Korean Hallyu stars Minho and Jun Ji-yoon are the biggest Hallyu stars, so watch Legend of the Blue Sea if you're curious how they'll do as on-screen lovers. This show revolves around the bittersweet love story between mermaid Shim Chung played by Jun Ji-yoon and con artist Hu Jun-jae played by Lee Min-ho. 3. The Heirs, 2013. This movie follows a group of rich, privileged high school students as they prepare to take over their family's businesses. A large Korean conglomerate, Ch Group, employs Minho as Kim Tan, an heir to the group. In an attempt to take over the family business, Kim Won played by Choi Jin-yook exiled Kim Tan to America. During his stay in the U.S., Kim Tan meets and falls in love with Cha Yoon-sang played by Park Shin-hye. Number 4. Personal Taste, 2010. Minho's 2010 South Korean series Personal Taste may be among her most underrated shows, following Park Kae-in in Crash Landing on Yusun Yi-jin, a furniture designer who lives with Minho's character, Jun Jin-ho, an architect whom she assumes is gay. Number 6. Gangnam Blues, 2015. Gangnam Blues is a movie that Minho fans won't want to miss. The film is written and directed by South Korean director, screenwriter, and poet Yoo Ha. Gangnam District in Seoul is experiencing socio-political turmoil and terrorism during the early 1970s. In the early 2000s, Jong-dae played by Lee Min-ho and Yong-ki played by Kim Rae-won struggled to survive after their homes were destroyed by local thugs. In the course of their political clashes, the two get tested. Number 7. Pachinko, 2022. It is this year that Minho will assume the role of Ko Han-soo, a wealthy fish broker seeking to pursue Sunja, the 16-year-old heroine of Pachinko. Min Jin Lee, a Harlem-based author and journalist, adapted the 2017 novel of the same name for the TV series Pachinko. This coming-of-age story tackles contemporary issues such as racism, racial profiling, and stereotyping. The National Book Award for Fiction named Pachinko a finalist in 2017. As part of Apple Incorporated's official streaming service, Apple TV+, the show was released in March 2022.